tell us, help us know
Sure.
to point to current. What are you most thankful for about your journey? What would you say?
Oh, gosh, Melissa, I mean, I don't even truly know where to begin with that question because what am I not thankful for is truly the shorter list, And what most listeners are expecting is all the positive. Oh, the right place, the right time. And you had this incredible investor that came in and said, "Hey, I believe in you, so I'm going to pump all this money into your business and have you do it based on your philosophy," and all these things that we think are things to be grateful for, positive. But Melissa, what is true for me, again, this is all personal, is my greatest gratitudes have been in the areas of hardship, struggle, suffering. And why do I feel this way? First and foremost, because if if a person endures surviving a childhood in a war-torn country, truly everything else is relative. Okay, so what pain is here in America is very different. My pain here is very different than my pain growing up in a war-torn country where you are literally waking up and hoping that your family's still alive. And I think I shared with you our first talk that I'm babysitting and I'm holding the hands of these two kids and we're walking. It's a lot of walking in where we grew up, and we're walking from their house to my parents' house, and these Israeli planes were flying so low the earth shook, and we ran under a tree, and I like slept on these two kids and because I thinking it's a bomb coming down, not planes flying over us. So it's like to endure that kind of childhood and all the suffering that went along with that. It's truly traumatizing that everything else, really pales in comparison. I'm almost embarrassed to have a bad day, because it's like, are you seriously? And, of course, now I'm Americanized, and so I'm human. And so human nature is that we take, um, we really start taking all the good for granted. And so, bottom line is, I think what I am most thankful about my journey from where I was born and raised to where I am today is the hardship that I encountered throughout those years. And because of those, I was able to endure the suffering that a startup truly is inherent in a startup. I mean, it is, I don't even know where to begin with all the things that fell apart. And no, I didn't have an investor. And people looked at me like, "Have you lost your mind? You just quit. You're a partner in this massive firm that's ranked number 4 in Forbes by Forbes magazine as best places to work. You just one of the best staffing firms, top 4 in globally. You just left a partnership there to start your own company. Are you serious? Who does that?" And so um again, it's because of enduring such hardship growing up that the second phase of life is like, "Oh my gosh, this is hardship." No, not getting reimbursed 58 cents a mile for my travels is not hardship. I know what it's like to live without an income for 2 years. I know what it's like to not shop for 10 years for clothes. And so, it's this is horrible to say, but it's, you're just not spoiled in all the privileges and blessings of being an American. And so that is what I think. I'm sorry I'm rambling, but foundationally, I am most grateful for the hardship that we endured. But equally, Melissa, honestly, I can't not mention this. My parents' convictions of personal responsibility and gratitude and not depending on a country or a system or people for anything, that your life is your responsibility, and anything given to you is a privilege and a blessing. Not You're not entitled to anything because you have a pulse. Like, so my mom worked 3 jobs getting paid 15 cents a garment to iron from 1 in the morning till 5 in the morning before she went to her cafeteria job at 6 in the morning. And so, yes, I saw nothing but discipline, nothing but hard work, nothing but personal responsibility, and continually asking, what can we do for this nation that
Mm,
has given us so much? Not what can this nation do for us, as obviously a great quote by a great leader of our nation.
mm,
And so that's been those two things of having parents that have taught me what personal
mm,
responsibility is,
mm,
and
mm,
um, again, not taking a dime from
mm,
anyone
mm,
and expecting anything from anyone, but rather using our health and our any gift that God has blessed us with, whether it's a sharp mind or stable emotions
mm,
or business acumen or whatever it is, high level of empathy, all these things that we have as a family, the empathy piece,
mm,
that all comes from the God's blessing in our life, but the given me the tools of my parents to build that in me by
mm,
watching their lives, not hearing them preach at us, but seeing how they live their lives.
mm. Gassia, thank you for that. Such wisdom and insight. Those words come from a depth of experience and something that you have walked through, and you have chosen how you're going to respond to those situations.
Yep.
Such nuggets of insight for us to remind ourselves. We don't need to be entitled. We don't deserve. As leaders, we're here to serve. As leaders, we're here to look at situations and figure out, how do we lead well through this, and how do we help other people, and what does that look like.
That's
And
right.
so the depth that you have, has carried you from making strong decisions, from leaving one partnership and organization to another, and starting from the ground up and doing all the hard work and all the pieces that takes and requires of you. You have allowed your journey to equip you, and not to penalize you in any way, but to equip
Right.
you so that you lead well. So tell us, as we finish up, and we think about one thing that you're thankful for, even from this year, thinking
Yeah.
about this year of the Twilight Zone. That's a great way to frame it. Great way to frame it. So Gassia, teach us as we finish up, what is something that you are thankful for from this year?
Oh, Melissa, again, the list is endless.
Mm,
And the obvious things of health and well-being and
mm,
just having business and customers that are still needing your
mm,
services, and all those things are no question part of the endless list of things that I'm grateful for. But I think what stands out the most for me is the ability to do my job remotely.
mm,
And Melissa, that piece, I know we don't, as employees or leaders of organizations, we're myopic. We think of our business, and of course, because it's all consuming. So of course, our vision is myopic, and we're looking at our world. But my what has allowed me to see the incredible value of this is that I truly was under the assumption that most jobs can be done remotely.
mm,
And it took this to really awaken me to no, they can't. As an example, my sister and my brother-in-law both have professions that are not able to be done remotely. She's a
mm,
physical therapist at the University of Virginia Medical Center,
mm,
has been for over 25 years. And my brother in law, like you, started a nonprofit that is it's called Virginia Basketball Academy, and it's the largest basketball academy truly in Central Virginia, where it's teaching life character skills through the game of basketball. So it's not about basketball; it's about equipping the youth of today, especially those that don't have the role models of solid parenting that they should in all of the life skills. And I've heard these testimonies of kids going from literally I would be in a gang had it not been for VABA to now I'm an assistant coach at Duke for basketball. And
Wow.
to see that in the last 25 years is just like tears are just rolling down my face.
Mhm.
Well, you can't, Ben, my brother-in-law, has had to reframe all of that, the and all the the lessons that they do, his coaches do on a basketball court have had to be online now. And it's just it's there's I mean, can it be done? Yes, but it's ridiculous to not be together as a team, as a group, and learning skills day in and day out on your own is there's a lot more to it than that. And sharing and thinking about your teammate and where to self-control and all the things that they're trying to teach them as life skills can't happen outside of a basketball court. And so between my sister not being able to do her job remotely and watching my brother-in-law, uh, ma- trying to find ways to keep the nonprofit going, I can't help but be so incredibly grateful for a profession that I can do anywhere. It's, it's just it's beyond words my gratitude for the job that I have, that I can be sitting at my mom's kitchen counter or
Mm,
in Virginia or mine in Memphis or in our office wherever and be able to do my job.
mhm,
So I think Melissa, first and foremost, is, again, all the obvious things that we live in this great nation, that we have our health, that
mhm,
are just where do we begin with all the things we've already shared, but during this COVID year, that my livelihood should be
mhm,
affected like everyone else's. And it is, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've lost over half of our consultants um, for various reasons of COVID cutbacks, depending on the customer. But to be able to do my job anywhere and serve my customer in any context, whether it's 3 in the morning or I'm doing it from my car instead of my desk,
mhm,
is that it's possible is hugely, hugely,
mhm,
like, it's a privilege, and I'm grateful. And I think if there's one COVID year tidbit of gratitude that I have, it's by and large the fact that I can do my job remotely.
mm. To be able to serve my customer,
That's
my
right.
client. Wow. Powerful words, very powerful words. And so, as we look at this year and we finish up, leaders, I want that to ring in your ears and your hearts for you, that to serve our customers and to have that opportunity. So we know that you've had a difficult year. We know it's been a very trying year in so many different ways, in so many areas of your life. But we want to challenge you, slow down, analyze this journey that you've been on. Give yourself an opportunity to really look at what has happened internally this year for you, and to refocus as you finish out this year on how can I serve my clients? How can I serve my team members? How can I serve those around me? Because as a leader, you know that you get that privilege to do that. So, Gassia, thank you so much for today. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for your cat being with us too.
There's
What fun! What fun! But we just appreciate your realness. We appreciate who you are and how you have spoken to us. So thank you for challenging us. Thank you for helping us really slow down, take a look at who we are and where are we headed in 2021 and how are we going to allow ourselves to grow. So thank you from our Digging In team and from our
oh, there's
clients.
Digger. Digger and digging in.